Hey guys, drdecks here. Welcome to our channel. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Today we are starting to install our TimberTech AZEK decking, and we're using a hidden fastener system made by a company called Fasten Master, and it's called the Fusion Lock system, where we use some pneumatic nail guns and some special clips and stainless steel fasteners to install the decking. So follow along and see how we do. Right now we're just moving a bunch of materials because our staging area is on the upper area of this property, and then we're carting everything down to the site and then getting it up on the deck. So we have a little bit of maneuvering to do today, some logistic stuff, and once we get some deck boards ready to go, then we'll start installing them. All right, let's check this out. Well, maybe everywhere. So right now I'm ripping down some door skins. It's really thin laminated plywood, about $800 a sheet right now with today's current lumber pricing, but I happen to have this in my shop, so I didn't have to pay for it. It's very flexible and flimsy, but what we do as we're installing our deck boards, since we have a waterproof bladder, we do not want to cut the bladder when we cut all of our decking. We put this underneath the cut line of where we want to cut the deck boards so that I cut into this instead of the bladder. It kind of makes the decking go up, and we have to cut the line, pull these out, and then screw down Cortex all the end grains. But I'm good with that because it really helps keep things nice and tight and straight, and we don't cut our waterproof bladder. So that's what I'm doing right now, is making a bunch of shims basically to install underneath our decking, so when I cut it, we don't cut into the bladder. These are a couple jigs I'm making to mark out. I'm going to be marking out a couple lines around the curves of the deck. And it's so that I know where my cut line is and where my screw line is when we're installing the decking, so I don't make the boards too short, because we've done that in the past where we've done a layout on a curve and then the deck board's too short, and then you got to rip the entire deck board out and start over. And since it's a waterproof bladder and we're using a clip system, that becomes very cumbersome to try and fix. So this is a little bit of insurance to make sure that we have both our length proper and where we put our fasteners. Later you can see through the deck boards and actually be able to see where you need to put your fasteners. So it's a little bit of preventive maintenance is what we're doing right now. All right, so what I'm doing now, I ripped these earlier. There's two lines on this deck. There's a screw line and a cut line. I got to make sure every board that we install is beyond this cut line, and then when we have all the decking installed, we're doing an alternate colored surface border. So I'm putting this material down right here so that when I cut my decking, I have a buffer between the bladder and my deck board and the blade, so that I'm cutting into this. I still have to be careful how deep I go, but this gives me an 1/8 inch of play when I'm cutting my board, so I can cut all the way through them without cutting into my bladder, which would be bad, because then it's gonna have a leak. So that's why we're doing this.
Thing is a mess because only three of the tires move, and only one of them is actually stationary. So it likes to.
Oh boy.
done this before until I worked for drdecks, but you see our screws come in like a big package like this, and being that they're stainless steel and pretty pointy at the end, not only can you reach in here and you can get one underneath your fingernail, I know from personal experience, but it's just, you know, not as conducive to efficiency. So what we do is, I think I did this last year, I took some pieces of lumber and divided these up, and so both sides of these will face them, and so I'll have all the pointy ends facing one way, so that way when when it's time to Cortex, we'll just pick these up, put them faced in our bags, and then it's really easy to pick up and screw down, and it's quicker. So we might save some time there.
Okay, now you can pull it pretty tight. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That's all the time we have for you today, unfortunately. But sometimes you got to know that setup and prep are the keys to a successful deck install, and that's what today was all about, is getting things ready, moving stuff, setting up, getting our tools ready, and all that good stuff. So the next time you see us, we'll be in a groove and we'll be laying down a lot of deck boards. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content, which right now is 3 days a week. Don't forget to like our videos, and please comment below. I'll try to get back to you in a timely fashion. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.